Nice. We are live. Excellent. So a little early today, guys. I have some stuff to do later, so we're going to stream like an hour early. I hope that's okay. Today, we're going to pick up where we left off from last week. We're trying to do this scene. It's a scene in a little short animation that I'm planning, a little fight scene between Jon Snow, the Night King. So we were posing it out last week, and I went in and kind of fixed up the poses kind of after the stream. So this is where, this is what we have now. I'm kind of liking it. The poses are looking, nice. Robert, you made it, man. How's it going? I hope everything is going good with you. So glad that you're here. So yeah, these are the poses, and they were a little stiff before, but I kind of got a little used to the rig, and I'm liking how they're looking. Right, it's lots of energy, and it's still a rig, so I kind of like that. The goal of this short is to kind of push these rigs and see if they can feel hand-drawn. So let's get right into animation now. Oh, actually, before we can watch, this is kind of the full short. I'll show you guys the animatic so we can have a little bit of context. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up here. So this is kind of a rough animatic that I did to kind of block in the movement. I don't know if it's going to play right. It's very quick, just so I can kind of get a sense of the beginning, middle, and end. Right? Some things might change. I don't know, but this is any step to any animation. You want to storyboard it first. Oh, yeah. I still need to find some time to look into that. Did you send me the actual file? I can't remember, or just the design. Okay, so let's kind of get into this. So I think it's really important on a rig to kind of figure out what pegs you want to work on. So I'm going to probably work on these 3 pegs, the full body, the upper, and the lower. And then I haven't, just because no one has sent me any rigs. But if you guys want to send some rigs that I can review live, that I would love that. That would be awesome. So maybe you can post a link to the rig in the Discord, or just send me it, send me an email, and that would be awesome. That would be such a cool idea. Okay, yeah. It's full 360 rig and full color palette. Yeah. So it may take a little while to make the design in the rig, but 100% I'll get to that. Yeah, 100%, Prince. Send me the rig. I'll let me post a link in the Discord right now, and you could shoot a download there if you want, or send a link there, and I can get it. Let's see. That would be awesome. Maybe next week we could even review that. I would love that. That is awesome. Send it here in the art sharing group. Copy. Paste. Send it to this link in the chat, and we can get to that. Okay, so right now I'm thinking about the timing. So this is kind of like in a studio. So in a studio, you do your poses first, you send it for review, and now you would start your animation. So let's imagine this scene got approved. So now I'm kind of thinking of the timing and the spacing before I even start the tweens. So I want this to kind of hang a little bit, and I want a real big impact here. The whole point is he's missing all these swings. So they're real big, wide movements. So let's just get into it. So I'm probably going to need I'm going to close the body for now. Let's go like this. Add a tween and see how it looks. Okay, so it's pretty fast. I want these movements to be fast. Let's stop it here. So right now I'm just seeing the timing. I'm not really worried about all the little details. I just want to see how it looks like blocking in the animation. Okay, let's add some ease to that. And also another thing too, I'm looking to see how it tweens as well. If the tweens are working pretty okay, then I know this is fine. But say the arms were flipping or the head was flipping, I'd have to go in and maybe redo a little bit of the poses. So let's go. It's coming in. I want to ease into this pose. So over here. So we're going to have no ease there. We're going to have 75 ease here and maybe a 75 ease there. Now it should be very quick. Right? That's already looking a little better. Nice. So now let's add a breakdown. So I'm going to go, well, here, I like to mark my breakdowns in blue. Just like that. So I'm going to undo that so I can see everything. And I want the sword to drag a little bit more. Really stress this impact. So if we can even just do the swing today, one swing, I'd be happy with that. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. Right? A lot of the shows that I'm working on, like in a studio, a lot of them always say like, hey, we want this cutout to not look like cutout animation. And it's actually very, very difficult, I think, to do that. It's a combination, I feel, of rigging and animation. If the rigs aren't set up for animation like this, it's not going to look right. But yeah, you hit it right on the head, Robert. I think the main thing is the rigs need deformers. If you're going to try and create a puppet look traditional, it needs to have deformers. You can't do it without it. So let's see. So look, already see that little hang there? I like that. That's a pretty good breakdown frame. Of course, just an understanding of timing and spacing, right? That's huge as well. Okay. And this is quick movements, right? So the animation shouldn't be too hard. It just should be a couple poses. Maybe it'll hang around in the poses. That's it. Oh, and another thing too. Another guy, someone asked me last week, like, if you're in a studio and you need to save time, like what are some good like techniques to do. So here's an example. Frame 9, I spent a lot of time in this pose, right? I worked this pose really hard. So then in frame, like right here at the end, frame 27, I basically reused the same pose. I just changed the arms a little bit. So that was a lot faster than just redoing a whole pose from scratch. I kind of just copied, pasted, and modified it a bit. Okay, sorry, back to this. Okay, looking fine. At this stage too, you could do some drawovers. I don't think we really need to just yet. Maybe on a more like intense breakdown, we may have to draw over again. Right, so let's kind of get these poses nice. Let's get the arms and all the pieces of the rig matching up. Let's see. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, deformers, really important in animation. And it's also important, I find, to not overdo it, right? Because they can really make a rig heavy and hard to animate with. You could have all these awesome, cool deformers, but if the rig's too slow and heavy, it's not going to be good to animate with. It's not going to be fluid. The animation isn't going to look nice. Okay, let's see. Anyone working on any cool personal projects or no? Good. See, this is the problem I had with this rig. Is when I use the cutter to kind of cut the opening in the clothing, but it cuts off the arm and the head when he raises his arms above his head. So I don't know. I may have to go in and fix that. Nice. Arm movement is looking good. I think, yeah, that looks fine. I'll just adjust the sword position. And let's adjust this a little bit more. Let's also adjust his facial expression. Down. There you go. Nice. Super ambitious, Robert. I love that. Okay, so he's coming down. Chops. Now for here, I want these to be quick movements. So I'm going to take off the ease for now. I don't need it yet. We'll have, he needs to follow through. So I'm just deciding if I want him to overshoot and settle, or if I want him to swing through as he comes up. So let's see. Chops. Let's go here and add another 75 ease out. I want to ease out of that pose. There, that's what I like. So if we play this, it's a little slow. Actually, no, it's not. right? Chop, chop. I'm going to add a breakdown frame here. Blue. And let's have his arms. As his body comes up, I still want his arms to drag back. Let's see if that works. I don't need to worry about the pieces right now. I just want to see if it looks okay. There you go. I like that. That's what I want. So notice this little extra motion with his arms. That looks good. And then we'll have him overshoot here. Nice. Okay, so same thing. Let's fix this breakdown pose. And that's kind of what this is. Sometimes I consider this part still blocking. So if I was doing this at a studio, I wouldn't submit this yet for animation. This would still be kind of my blocking stage, I think. Do these breakdowns. Let's just copy this. There we go. So the hands stay nice and consistent. Here. Nice. But I think that's a good idea. Next week, maybe we can do a rig review. That would be cool. And I could just do it like from an animator's perspective, right? How easy things would be to animate if I was using the rig. This. Move these down. These live streams are great. It's really giving me time to kind of focus on this short animation. I've been planning it for so long, and I never actually got a chance to work on it. How's it going? Thank you for joining us. Love that, guys. These streams are so much fun. Like this. Right, so let's get this in. Yeah, at first I planned to do this short completely hand-drawn, and it was just too much. It was too slow. It would have taken me forever. So rigs, it really is a nice way to get things done, especially if you're working on your own, right? Like on a web series, Robert, like something like that, you know? Ah, from Kazakhstan. Nice. That's awesome. These streams are so great. There's people from like all over the world always tuning in. I love that, guys. And are you also like an animator? What do you do? Are you a rigger? Are you just here for fun? What are you doing? What are you doing? Here, let's put this back. Okay, nice. We're getting some nice follow through. See, this is the problem. Let's move the head forward in Z depth like that. Nice, look at that. Hey, how's it going? More people. Thanks for tuning in. You guys are just in time. How you doing today? Good? Hope everything's good. Honestly, guys, I really appreciate everyone coming in, everyone tuning into these streams. It's really awesome to see. Here. Let's, and any questions you guys have about animation, anything about what I'm doing, comment in the chat, and we'll I'll see if I can answer it. So here, I don't need these tweens right now. Actually, I do need them. So here, what I'm going to do is sometimes I like to block in the movement of the hair, not at the end, but kind of at this stage in the breakdowns. So it makes it a little easier at the end when I go in and do another like secondary or overlapping action pass. Let's go here. The hair is falling. And let's have it raise up a lot. Just a little bit like this. Nice. And then same with his fur. As he shoots it down, let's see what happens if we go have it drag in the air a bit. Right? And a lot of this is just experimental, right? Don't be afraid to make mistakes, especially if you're doing a personal project, right? That's kind of what it's all about. Oh, nice. Brilliant engineer in drawing AutoCAD. I've never actually used AutoCAD. I think my brother has, though. He's also studied engineering, and I think he used it for school. Let's see. This. Or maybe if I do the hair the other way, it might loosen it up a little bit. Something like this. Yeah. Kind of liking that better. Right, this is the kind of time where you really want to take your time and think, right? Because if something's not working at this stage of the animation, it's not going to fix itself later on. The problem is just going to get worse, right? So if it doesn't look good now, it's not going to look good later. You said it on Discord. Nice. And honestly, yeah, Robert, we could probably do like a live rigging series, you know? Rigging your character. That could be awesome. I actually might do that. That would be great. Oh, but yeah, on the chat, everyone, yeah, I remember when I asked what to rig next. Let's have this here. Are you using that character for your web series, Robert? Okay. This, like this, like this. Let's see how this looks now. There, I like that. That looks great. And see, sometimes I keep these motion tweens because when I adjust this, it kind of helps change the in-betweens. So it keeps everything, I don't know, it gives me more control, I find, over the poses. Okay, so there we go. 1/ down. Look at that. That looks good. So here, I'm going to get rid of these tweens now. And that's giving us actually a lot of impact. I like that. Problem, this needs to be here. Our strap needs to there. So now this part of the animation, this is kind of a tricky part, and you're going to come across this a lot when you work with rigs. So from here to here, let's see how this tweens. It tweens pretty nice, but there's some like flipping parts. You know what I mean? Like this view is changing from quarter front to quarter back. So sometimes on a rig, you're going to have to find in the motion like the fastest part to kind of hide that flip. So here, I don't know if I could even just pop to, like I might not even need any in-betweens from here to here. We'll just have him overshoot. Okay, so here we're going to have this sword shoot right past its like stopping point. We'll have his body lean forward like this. And now here, if we just kind of did it like that, sure, it looks okay. But the trick is now we're going to go in and adjust some of these deformers to kind of make it look less stiff, just slightly. And it makes it look a little less cut out. Yes. We'll overshoot this. We'll be going 27 minutes. Nice. It's so great, guys. Every stream, there's more and more people watching, right? More and more people join, more and more people stay, more and more people are asking questions. Love that. Right? And any questions, guys, let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know. If you don't understand what I'm doing or you want to know more about what I'm doing, also let me know. Okay, we got this in. We're going to go like this. The eyebrows, I'll pop them up. Overshoot this way. Head up a bit. Well, thanks. Yeah, this is kind of my first time, believe it or not, doing like a short, consistent film on my own. There you go. So here, let's also have the hair. Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for stopping by. But have a great rest of the day, man. See you in the next one. Thank you, man. Right, there we go. See that little flip? I like that. Let's see. Right, and no, I think no in between from here to here. It really helps it with the impact. I like that. Okay, let me focus on this section now, though. So same thing. I'm going to have this frame here. I'm going to drag it back. So now it's going to ease into the pose even more to give even more impact. Look at that. Yeah. Nice. Now we just got to go in and fix these little breaks in the rig. And even though you don't see this hand up here, I still kind of like to make sure that it's kind of all working. Because when you tween it again, or if I need to change something like a camera angle, it's nice to know that the whole character is going to work, even outside of the camera. I mean, that's good enough. We play this. It's looking good so far. This is going to be a tricky one. So let's move this up. We're going to go from here to here. And I think I'm going to ease in to this pose. So he overshoots, eases in, eases out, and then another big swing. So let's go. I want 75. I always kind of just sometimes stick with that. We're going to go right in the middle. This, like this. Me, I'm actually an animator. That's what I do. I'm like an animator for TV here in Toronto. So I work for a few studios doing some of their shows. And then on the side, I figured I would try and start a YouTube channel to help anyone else looking to break into the industry. So yeah, I do this full time. Yes, I did. So did you see the before I started, I made this whole like animatic. But since it was my first time doing a fight scene, I used a lot of like fight scenes from movies. So I think there was one movie where Jackie Chan movie, great sword fighting choreography. I relied heavily on that. So I kind of used that to frame my shots, get the perspective right, get kind of the beats of the timing right. And then hopefully eventually, the more I do this, the easier it will be to just do it from memory. Right? Because I've never done a fight scene like this. This is my first time planning it out myself. So I really wanted to rely on reference. I can't remember the name of the movie, though. It was like Sword of the Dragon or something. But it has really, really good fight scenes in there. Okay, let's see. So as he comes down, do I want the sword to drag this way, though? Maybe I want this. Yeah. Maybe. No, I don't like that. The sword comes too much like a clock, so I think what I need to do is have it kind of go this way. This is a tough little angle to play with, right? Yeah, I find fight scenes are so hard to do. I looked it up. What's his name? He's another animator on YouTube. His name is Howard Wimshurst, I think that's how you say it. He does really awesome fight scenes, and he does it all hand drawn. So if you're looking for like good references to watch, check out his channel. He's got some really good ones. And he makes videos too, like breaking down what he thinks about when he is making fight scenes and stuff. So it's very, very useful information. The hilts, I think I need to hide this arm more. There you go. And a good thing about this rig is when his back is turned like this, you can cheat a lot of anything, really. This fur really covers a lot of his anatomy, so we can kind of get away with not animating too much. Here, I think that looks okay. Ooh. Also, another reference I used a lot. It's an older video of Nintendo. They released a whole bunch of animated shorts promoting like a game, Super Smash Brothers, and there's a few really, really nice fight scenes in there that I referenced a lot for this. They're like heavily anime inspired, but I kind of wanted to get that timing down as well, that anime timing. Okay, so here, boom, boom. And now this is where we're going to need another breakdown. I feel it. Because this is a big movement. I don't know how I'm going to get from here to here. So what I need to do, so I'll go in the middle. We'll make it blue. I might even need 2 breakdowns, to be honest. So I want him to swing this sword like a big overhead swing. And he's going to swing right over his head here. And he's going to miss. So maybe have his body go like this. Right? This is going to be a big anticipation. Like the whole idea here is this Jon Snow character, he is like really not clumsy with his sword. I know in the show he's like a really good like swordsman, but I wanted him to be like very clumsy and wild, and the Night King to be very like smooth and slick. Kind of contrast how they would fight each other. Let's see. Okay, let's see if this pose would work. No, I think I want his arms to go a little higher. Like this. Like high, high, high. I need to adjust the sword because it's off model. So I'm just going to copy from the previous scene to kind of get a nice on model sword. Oops. Let's make this back in blue. Right, and again, like it's like we're back in the blocking stage, basically. Because I need a nice breakdown. For this, I'm going to have to do a draw over as well, just to get the perspective and the angles right. What time is it? Been here for 30 minutes. Break is over. Okay. So here, let's see if I can push the arms like this. We're really going to try and cheat this too. My arms are all over the place. Oh my God. Here, here. We'll have the sword up like this. It's kind of annoying because I have the sword attached to the arm. There you go. So move it first. Move the arm first, then the sword. And see this? This is the cutter that I was talking about. So if we go in here, for cutter, when his arms are above his head, it gets really, really weird. So I got to figure something out about that. Okay, I like that pose, I think. So as he comes, right, this is going to be a nice breakdown because we can ease into this breakdown and out of it. Right, as he's coming out, everything's going to drag. So I hope this works. Now we got to go in and do a draw over and kind of fix this breakdown. So this curve is a C curve. I want him to reverse that C curve, and then he reverses it again. So there's lots of turning lines of action that we want. Just makes things more interesting, more dynamic, and more like hand-drawn looking. So let's go like this. We're going to go like this. And notice his hips are kind of breaking, like they're bending. And that is because, or like we do that so we can get nice curves, but we're still using like straight pieces of the body, right? It's not very rubber hosey, like that kind of animation style. You're unable to join the Discord. Uh-oh. What does it say? Does it give you an error? Does it kick you out of the Discord? What happens when you try and join? Yeah, the Discord thing is still a little new. We're trying to build a nice community, but it's tough. But it's a good place to share some art and meet new people, you know? If everyone starts posting a little more in the Discord, I feel we can get a nice community going. All right, so I'm trying to get these nice curves here. There, his legs are fine. That. And then this. We'll have it like that. So we're going to cheat his arm a bit. We're going to kind of... Actually, I got to focus on this and get the perspective right. So here. If he's turning, I want the glove. I think it's this way. Perspective. Right? We'll move his arm like that. And then it just goes up. Okay, let me post another invite link. Let's try that. Invites. I'm going to close this one. I'll make a new invite link. Copy. Try this one. Try this one. We'll see if that works. Okay, so here, the perspective of his arm is like this. I actually don't want any elbow showing. Okay, nice. And I actually love this part. Like after you do a draw over and you match the rig to your draw over, it just looks great. And it's like, damn, I can't believe this is a rig, you know? Or at least when you have a successful draw over. crazy too, because a lot of it, when you're animating in a studio, your supervisors will give you drawovers like of your poses, and sometimes you're just like, man, like how do they see that? You know, like they're just so good at catching perspective or figuring out what would make the shot better. You know, it really blows my mind how good some of these like the leads and the supervisors are at my studio. Yeah, so I have a new like a drawing node that's separate from the rig. So here's my rig here, and here's my rough drawing layer, and that's plugged in like just above it. So I have all my rough drawings on this layer just to kind of keep it separate. But sometimes be careful because like if you end up drawing on a piece in the rig, it can really be annoying, right? Because then it's like attached to the arm or it's weird. So keep your drawovers separate is what I was always told. Okay. So if we can get some nice perspective on this arm, this is going to look good, I hope. And then even once all this animation is done, we can even do a series on like compositing or you know, like putting the final pieces together of this animated short. Because again, that's also something I've never done, which could be fun to kind of experiment with together. All right. So what I'm doing here also, I was gonna move the deformers like this, and my pivot points would be all fucked up. So I'm gonna just turn it and then adjust the deformers. So my pivot point kind of stays where it's supposed to. Okay. And we just need to adjust this hand. I'm actually surprised I haven't needed to redraw the angle of the sword or the angle of these hands. Because that's kind of the worst part I find of working with rigs, is redrawing some parts. Sword. And we'll move this guy out. How is it? 11:53. We are almost out of time, guys. I think we can at least get this breakdown pose in. The same thing. So last week was my first time using this rig. I wasn't used to where the pieces were. I wasn't used to how it was like set up because I built it a while ago. But once you get used to a rig, it really, really helps with the animation. You know, your animation is better if you know how the rig works, where all the pieces are. It's so important. That'd be fine. Let's just hide this arm completely. Now, this. I need to redraw this bun, but we can do that after. So like for the hair, back here, pieces. Let's move them up so you see them a bit. Move the head down. That. And that's the thing too. When I build rigs, I really hate doing profile view. I really hate doing the back view. So the back view on this isn't really that great. It's not really that easy to use. Okay, that's actually looking good. Let's see. He does a big swing over his head. Okay, not bad, not bad. Let's get the belts in. It's yeah, and sorry if I miss a question or something. It's a little tough to animate and do the chat. I need someone else to help me. Okay, here we go. Nice, nice, nice. Again, like I'm really taking my time with this scene, guys. I'm not rushing or anything. If this was like a studio scene, I may have to cut a few corners or sacrifice some quality in my poses to get it done on time. Right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. It just kind of has to read. Depending on the show that you're on, sometimes you can even take out poses in the storyboard if they don't really work and they're not really necessary. It's just kind of a waste of time. So just take them out, don't do them. But like other tricks, like I showed you before, like reusing poses and just adjusting them slightly, but not reposing the whole character from scratch. So this thing here, like that. And I tried for this rig to like hold off on the details, right? There's not a lot of detail in these rigs, which makes it easier to work with when you're animating. A lot of detail, a lot of like belts and like pockets and stuff. Oh, that's the worst when characters have like patches on their clothes, you know? Okay, so he comes up. We still probably need another breakdown, but I like that. It's looking very good. What time is it? 52. We can probably finish it. And that's the good thing too about doing these fast action scenes. A lot of the times, a lot of your the work is spent in the posing stage. Right? The animation is just very, very quick movements. The timing is very snappy, right? So get a few nice poses and just add like a couple in betweens. That's it. So here, I'm gonna go. Oops. I want one frame here and one frame there. And then let's see how this looks. So see this? This is going to be tough to do. Probably the toughest pose is flipping from here to here. Because when we tween it, it kind of tweens, but not really. So let me go 75 ease out. I actually kind of like that. So we'll go here. But instead of this dropping down, I need an onion skin for this. We'll have his arm drag behind. And then this arm kind of connect these poses is going to shoot out with this. Let's turn off the onion skin. So this movement, what I might need to do as well is, and then the Night King, we have to redo him as well. So let's just ignore him for now. Here, big swing. It's looking good. We just got to nail this pose. So as he comes down, I can't have this arm and this arm finish at the same time. So I'm liking this. What we'll do, we'll save this pose. I think I want this arm to finish first. This might take away the impact, though. Sword out like that. Yeah, no, I don't like that. See it? Whoops. Actually, I do like that, but I'm stumped to do with this because it looks so heavy, and then he shoots it out. So if I go like this, if we overshoot in this way, right? He moves back into place. That's looking better. But if I also go, what if I overshoot his arm? Yeah, we were going to need an in-between between this and this, but whatever. I'm going to leave that for now. I like that. Actually, I don't like that. So see, this is like a lot of the process of animating. You know, seeing if you like things, posing things out a little bit, kind of seeing if the timing works. Yeah, I think what we can do, we can get away with just overshooting here. So I'm going to just animate this. What time? 58. We got 2 more minutes. So this is basically done. Like, these poses are animated. Probably just need to go in and redo like the hair and the secondary action. And then we just got to figure out these poses. So would you guys like me to do more live streams instead of doing it just like once every 2 weeks? I actually might have a little bit more time to kind of do it more during the week or something like that, and then we can kind of finish these scenes a little faster. Let's see. We'll have his arms stay closed. This is coming down. We'll keep it like that. Now, this is important to get this pose right for the arm, because it's dragging his arm. So I want it like this. There, I'm drawing through there. the wrist. His sword is going to be back like that. His arm's going to be out. This I can kind of keep the same. Right, we'll just clean up these lines. And then here, do I want... Oh, no, I think that's fine. Let's connect these arms. Another thing, too, if you're feeling stuck on a scene, I do this all the time. Just like, take a break. If it's not working out for you, come back. You know, like, take a break, come back, and then maybe you'll see the solution, or you'll see it a little bit different with a pair of like fresh eyes. You know, it could be, sometimes I'll come back the next day or even like a week later. But I find every time that I struggled and like try and push through a scene and just power through it, I end up getting a gigantic revision, and it's just more time than it's worth. Okay, let's open this hand. This is where I might have to redraw some hands. So that's backwards. Another thing too, guys, instead of flipping the whole hand, like the peg, I'm going to go add a new drawing substitution, select everything, and flip the drawing. So this way the peg doesn't flip. So it tweens a little bit nicer. Right? I'll just flip it like this, kind of move it back into position, and now I have two drawing substitutions, but one is flipped. Okay. Getting tired. Here it comes. Let's adjust this guy. And whoops, like this. All right, so this fur really helps hide a lot of the problems that we would see. So let's move this hair up. Let's move this arm here. You can kind of cheat this. We'll bring it down a bit. Right, because at this point, we're not really too worried about tweening because the movement isn't that big. Move this back. Let's move this back. Now he has one hand on the sword, so he's swinging, right? He's using that other hand for all that momentum, because this is like the big shot. And the whole point is like he's going to be trying his hardest, but then the Night King is going to be not trying hard at all. That's kind of the contrast I wanted to get in these shots. Okay. For an hour, I think I'm just going to do this, guys, and then we're going to call it. So we'll pick it up again in the next stream. That's finished. Thank you. Right, I'll keep you guys updated on the progress of this scene. The animation is pretty much done. We just have a couple more poses to finesse. Let's see. Let's see it without our drawing. Love that. I really love this swing at the end. It's going to look really nice when it's on twos and all the secondary action is put in. or the overlapping action, sorry. Right, and that's looking loose. That's looking very loose. Doesn't look rigged at all. And by contrast, here is actually, I did this hand drawn, right? And we're getting basically the same action with a rig. It's crazy. Yeah, no worries. I try and keep these streams under an hour, you know, because it can get a little dull to watch someone animate for like 3 hours. So I'll try and do more of these hour-long sessions. We'll do some more rigging reviews. We'll finish off this little short animation. So lots of cool stuff to come. But honestly, guys, thanks so much. This was probably one of our best ones yet. So have a good day, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next stream. I'll update you on the timing in the Discord. So if you want to keep up to date with those, follow us on Discord, and even on YouTube, I update the community there. So thanks, guys. Again, have a good one. You know, I always appreciate it. Love the support. So awesome. So awesome. All right. End this.